we also now get you details of India's big message amid Donald Trump tariff war, where NSA Ajit Doval is currently in Russia, and there is a likely possibility that he will also meet Putin. The big Doval visit that is coming ahead of Putin 2026 India trip, and the message that is being put out very clearly to Donald Trump as India is free to decide its policy. India is clearly conveying that there is no stopping of Russian oil. In fact, next we are also learning is when EM Jaishankar will be in Russia, and talks are on major defense deals, pacts with Russia. In fact, a very, very important visit amid the very many statements that are being made by Donald Trump over India engaging with Russia. And here India says that our policy is very clear. We will decide who we have to engage with. Cutting across to Pranay Upadhyay with further details of Ajit Doval's meet that is likely slated with Putin and the clear message that India puts out to Trump.
Definitely, Suesha. This is a big message from India, but definitely this is a pre-scheduled visit which was in the preparation of Russian President Vladimir Putin's India visit. So NSA Ajit Doval is in Moscow. He will be calling on to Russian President Vladimir Putin as well, and also he will be holding key meetings with his Russian counterpart as well as the other officials in the preparation of a big summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is expected to be in India later this year. But this is also a big message, Suesha, of the strategic autonomy of foreign policy, because India has always maintained strategic relation with Russia. Russia has been a time-tested friend for India, and that's why India never broke its ties with Russia. But at a time when the US President Donald Trump is specifically targeting India on its ties with Russia, be it oil purchases or be it the...
I'm sorry, I'm having to interrupt you here, but Tatiana Kukhareva, who is a journalist in Moscow, is also with us on the broadcast. And let's quickly get a word from her on the ongoing visit of Ajit Doval, the likely meeting that is to happen with Trump, and how India and Russia are focusing on defense cooperation.
Good day, Suesha. Thank you for having me. I believe that, the visit coming, especially with the timing right now, with all of the discussions, all of the big statements coming from Trump, carries incredible importance for both countries, because India is essentially taking a stand and saying that it will not be bullied by the US president, and it cannot be bullied because it is a big country, it is a huge economy, not as big as the US, but that doesn't really matter. It is about strategic autonomy, and especially, because the essential statements by Donald Trump didn't just touch upon the oil that India is buying from Russia, but also other dealings and anything that India buys from Russia. And I believe that it is an incredibly important statement that this visit puts forward in front of the US.
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, Tatiana, I'd also like you to share your thoughts on the particular incident that happened when Trump was asked the question on how US engages in trade with Moscow, but Trump was absolutely clueless, and when it comes to making statements against India or other countries, he goes on and on.
Well, that's not a surprise that you can kind of catch him off guard at times. But then again, we need to remember that Donald Trump is not a diplomat. He's not a politician. First and foremost, he's a businessman. So all of the statements, all of this arm twisting, if you would, it is a part of his very well-known negotiation tactic. The idea being that he puts out something preposterous, and then the other party, in this instance, India, backs down to a point where the two can meet in the, well, ideally for Trump, in the middle. But the problem being that the incredible miscalculation about how to behave with other countries, with other cultures, because this negotiation tactics, however acceptable in the business world, although not in every country as well, cannot be acceptable on the global political arena. It is just, for one, it is disrespectful. It puts forward a message that the US does not want a negotiation. It wants to bully other countries, big countries, powerful countries, countries that, you remember the statement that he just made that pharma tariffs could go up to 250%. And this is pure showmanship on the part of Donald Trump, because everybody who has even a smallest understanding of math understands that anything over 100, you don't even say these numbers, because nobody's going to trade if a tariff, is larger than what you're paying. You're paying someone to buy your goods. So this is pure showmanship, and it just kind of, puts more emphasis on the fact that Donald Trump, the things that he does say, are more intended to scare and to bully the opponent, and not to be taken at face value.
Right.
And when it comes to trade with Russia, it's very simple. He can't respond to any of the questions concerning trades with Russia, for instance, on fertilizer trade, because it is very simple. Donald Trump doesn't want necessarily to take Russian oil off the market for good. He wants to put American oil on the market, more of it. He wants to sell American oil. He wants to sell American defense technology, American arms. This is about money. But he cannot replace Russian fertilizers with American ones. This is why he's not going to respond to any of the questions concerning America's ongoing trade with Russia.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.